you're already settled into your spot. You've chosen if you'd like to be upright this afternoon or down on your mat. And from there, give yourself lots of length up through your spine. Relax your shoulders. Relax your neck. Close your eyes if that feels comfortable, or just soften your gaze. And take a big breath in. Sigh it all out. Another big breath in. Exhale, let the week go. One more time. Big breath in. Let everything go. Very good. Settling into your space. Find that length up through the spine. Again, relaxing the shoulders. Soften the jaw. Feel the ground underneath you. Feel your crown of the head reaching for the sky. And feel a little tuck in of the belly just to support the back. Take a moment to scan from the head down to the toes, just to see how your body's doing today. Maybe you're a little sore in some certain areas. Maybe you're feeling really good. Maybe you're kind of cold or warm, light or heavy. Just to open up to whatever you're feeling. Turning inward, ask yourself, how am I feeling? Emotionally, mentally. There's no wrong answer, so no need for judgment. Just curiosity. Maybe you're feeling pretty darn excited. It's the weekend. Maybe you're kind of blah. Maybe you're super happy for something or sad. Whatever it is, it's all okay. Just feel what you feel. Turn your awareness to the breath. And just feel how it feels to breathe. Take a moment to notice where you feel that breath the most within your body. Maybe it's the nostrils, maybe it's the lungs, maybe it's the back. As it feels comfortable, begin to deepen your breath. Allow more air into the lungs, allow the chest to rise as you exhale. Slow the breath down, draw it out a little bit until all that air is gone. And continue. Deepening the breath, slowing down the exhalation. Let everything else melt away. Everything you've already done this morning, everything that's coming up next. Let it melt off and just be here with your body, with your breath. From this place, a little more calm and quiet, begin to bring the awareness to the body. Begin to wake things up. Start with the fingers. Give them a little energy. Give them some wiggles. Spread those fingers out wide. Squish them in. Wiggle a little bit more. Circle the wrists. Repeat in the opposite direction. Maybe you've been doing a lot of yard work. Maybe you've been cleaning. Maybe you've been on your computer quite a bit. So let's take those fingers out in front. Clasp the fingers together and then push the palms away from you. Just getting another stretch through the wrists, a stretch through the arms. Extend the arms up into the air. Stretching through the shoulders and the back now. Oh, and release. Hands can come down by your sides. From there, we're going to take the right hand to the mat. The left hand will come up and over, stretching through the side body, giving your upper body a nice big reach here. Reaching just a touch more. Come all the way up and over to the other side. Right hand is reaching over, left hand's to the ground. You could maybe try to put the forearm to the ground if that's available. Make sure that your right hip bone stays glued to the mat though. One more breath, reaching just a touch more. From here, both hands come up into the air. Big reach up. Big breath in. Exhale, flat back. Take your hands down to the ground. Walk them out just a touch more. Soften through the spine. Breathe into the back. Next breath in, lengthen up through your spine. Exhale, come all the way back up. From there, hands will come back behind you. Roll your shoulders back. Lift your chest up toward the sky. Look to the ceiling or even back behind you. Nice push through the chest. 2 big breaths. Lots of space here for some deep breathing. Gently squeezing the belly. Come all the way back up to center. Shoulders will come up toward the ears. Roll them down the back. Nice big rolls, opening up the chest, waking up the shoulders. Let's roll the shoulders forward. Somebody is in the waiting room, so I'm going to let them in. 3 people. Keep on rolling. If you want to roll backwards again, that's just fine. Welcome, everybody. If you could mute yourself, that would be lovely. And from there, we're going to relax those shoulders. We're going to take the chin down to the chest. Imagine you've got a little egg nestled between your chest and your chin. So you're just stretching the back of the neck. And then take the chin from shoulder to shoulder. Just kind of working out some tightness there. When you're ready, full circles are next. Find nice length through your spine. Begin to breathe as you move, exhaling the chin from shoulder to shoulder, inhaling the chin up and over. And we'll repeat in the opposite direction, continuing to move with your breath. One more circle. And we'll come back to center. From there, we're going to take the right hand to the left leg, the left hand back behind the body. Nice big breath in. Exhale. Start your twist. Bringing up those internal organs a little bit. Giving them a little squeeze, a little internal hug. 2 more breaths. Inhale, lengthen up just a little bit more. Unwind yourself. Exhale, relax. Switching to the other side. Left hand to right leg, right hand back behind. Big breath in, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Giving yourself a squeeze in the other direction. One more breath. Unwind. Very good. All right. Let's take the legs out wide. Sitting up tall on the sits bones, you can move the thighs away and flex your feet up toward the ceiling or the sky if you're outside. All right. From there, we're going to be sliding the left hand down the left leg. Right hand will reach up and over. So again, nice side body stretch here. You can look down to the floor or up to the palm in the air. Reaching just a little bit more. We'll come all the way up and over to the other side. Right hand down the right leg. Left hand reaches. Okay, so from here, we're going to do a little bit of motion. We're going to take this left hand and swoop it down, dragging it along. The right hand can join. And then you open up the right arm over your armpit, over your head. Switching sides, swooping down through the center, kind of just tracing a line in the ground and opening to the side. Move with your breath. Exhale, come through center, drag through. Inhale, open. Exhale, moving through. Inhale, open. One more time each side, like you're drawing a little line on the ground, connecting the foot to foot. Last one. Opening there, and from there we're going to come to center. Taking those hands through the center, walking out a little bit farther if you can, and then soften down through your spine. The head drops toward the ground. Flex those feet up toward the sky again, keeping the legs active, and take 2 more breaths. Okay, inhale, lengthen up again. Exhale, come all the way up. I'm going to take the hands back behind again, opening up the chest, lifting the chest to the sky, looking up or even back behind you. Again, take a couple breaths here with big open lung space. Squeezing the belly, come back to center. You can close the legs now. Flex the feet up toward the sky. We'll be going to a forward fold from here. Some people like to use like a belt or a strap or a tie to help get you deeper into the pose. So if you want to do that, use whatever object at home is easiest for you. I don't recommend using a pet because they won't like that. All right, lengthen up nice and tall through the spine, flat back. Walk yourself forward, forward, forward. Nice flat back until you just can't go any further. Then, when you're ready, you can melt through. Drop the gaze to the knees. Maybe the hands reach out to the toes. If not, that's not a problem. Reach those hands wherever they're going to reach today. Take 3 breaths. Next breath in, lengthen up through the back. Exhale, come all the way up. You can shake out those legs. Let's come to tabletop. All right, tabletop. Our hands will be underneath the shoulders. Knees will be hip-width distance apart. Look back, make sure you can't see your toes. And then just check in. See where the weight is in your hands. If you notice that the weight's in the outer little corner, let's try to drag that weight to the inner meaty part of the hand. It can take that weight a little bit better than this tiny little bone. So if you need to, you can tiger claw a little bit, or you can tilt your hands a little. You can kind of experiment and see where works for you to get the weight to the inner webbing of your thumb. From there, feel the ground underneath the tops of your feet. Take this moment in for a moment. And now we'll pull the belly to the spine. Drop the head down around through your back. Nice exhale out, stretching through the spine. Inhale, drop your belly down, look forward or up, stretching the chest, stretching the abdominal wall. Exhale, round. Moving at your own pace. Inhaling, going to cow pose, dropping the belly down. Exhaling, rounding to cat. Move with your breath. Stretching, warming things up. If you would like to add extra motion today, do what feels good. Maybe just swaying feels really good today. Maybe you're kind of tight through the abs. Maybe you're tight through the hips and you want to go to child's pose. Maybe you feel like stretching the back a little and coming up to a cobra. It's up to you. Move in a way that feels good. Two more breaths with your motion. come back to tabletop. So from here, we're going to bring the right foot between the hands. If you need to, you can pad underneath your left knee just by tucking the mat underneath or grabbing a blanket really quick. Come up when you feel steady. Okay, so if you want this to be a deep lunge, you can scoot your toes forward a little bit more and then bring the knee over the ankle, and it's kind of like a shifting of the weights down toward the ground. Now, if that doesn't feel right, you can stay in an upright position. From there, we're going to scoop the arms up to the sky, drawing the elbows toward each other like there's little magnets there. And then if you would like to make this a back bend, lift through the spine first, look up to those palms, and then maybe take those palms back behind you a little bit. So this is a good stretch for your hip flexors, strengthener for the thighs, for the legs, a little bit for the arms as well. And back bends are a little bit enlivening. They'll bring a little energy. Okay, let's look to the ground. Hands come to the ground. We're going to shift the body weight back, straightening the front leg. So shifting, 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 trying to keep that leg straight. Draw the right hip crease back. If you would like to, you can take the right toes up toward the sky. That's going to make it more intense. Breathe through it. Release those front toes if they were up. We'll bring the knee back underneath the body. All right, in between, let's do 2 cat and cows, just at your own pace. Meeting back in tabletop, we'll take the left foot forward between the hands. Again, scooch those toes forward a little further if you need to. Come up when you feel steady, just like the other side. If this knee likes a little extra padding, just tuck your mat underneath. That's a little quick way to fix a little bit of discomfort. And then from there, you choose how deep this lunge goes. Maybe it's really deep. Maybe it's just a little. It's up to you and your body. Scoop the arms up. Elbows draw toward each other like little magnets are attached and they're trying to pull toward each other. And your choice of how big of a back bend this becomes. Be careful with your back. Be kind with your back. Love your back. 2 more breaths. Look to the ground. Hands drift down to the ground. Again, we're going to shift the body weight backward. Trying to straighten that front leg. Now, if it's not going to straighten, that's okay. If you'd like a little more, though, lift up those toes. You can soften over the left leg. Try to draw that left hip crease back behind you a little bit. And from there, relax the toes. Let's bring the leg underneath the body. 2 more cat and cows. At your own pace with your breath. So from here, we're going to go to plank pose. Really good strengthening for the core, for the thighs, for the arms. So many muscles all at the same time. If you are feeling that today's plank does not feel good, you can make that an amended plank by having a nice long line from your knees to your head. Squeeze your thighs, squeeze your belly. You're still working everything. Now, if you'd like full-on plank, tuck your toes back behind, lift your hips up and back, squeeze those thighs together, squeeze the belly in. Don't let your shoulders sink below or your torso sink below the shoulders. You're trying to keep nice strength here. 1 more breath. We're coming down to the belly, so if you want to put the knees down first, that's fine, or you can come forward in the body weight, bend through the elbows, lower down. Relax your toes back behind. All right, so we're going to move to the crossbow, which my friend Emily, who's watching and doing yoga right now, taught me. And it's probably got a whole different name, but I don't care. It's going to be crossbow for us. So what we're going to do is start with the right forearm on the mat. And then from there, we're going to take the left leg And just slide that knee up the floor. Only as far as your body likes. So that leg is on the ground. Just the knee is coming up toward your side a little bit. Okay, so from here, if this feels good enough, you can stay. You could make it a little bit more by pushing into the forearm, rolling your shoulders back, and lifting the chest. Now, if you'd like a little more, the crossbow action, bend your right leg. Okay, we're getting pretzely here, my friends. It's all right if it's confusing. Then you're going to take your left hand and see if you can reach that right foot. If you can't reach it, no worries. You could lasso it with a little belt. If you can reach, push that foot into your hand and lift out of your shoulders. Good. So this is opening the chest. You could try to lift that right leg off the ground if you want to. That's a little extra. Breathe. Okay, from there, release the foot if you had it in your hand. Come on down. You can slide the left leg down. Just take a little moment in center here. You can rock the hips from side to side. Take a little break. And then we'll move to the other side. So now we'll take the left forearm to the ground out in front of you. The right leg's going to come up. Just the knee sliding up. Nothing else. Everything's connected here to the ground. Okay, so again, if this feels good enough, stay. If you would like a little more, bend your left leg. Maybe that's enough. Maybe your quads are super tight, so just bending it is enough. If you want a little more, take the right hand, reach back behind, crossing things up here, grabbing on. And then from there, if you want to, you can push through the forearm, you can lift the chest, you can push the foot into your hand, kind of just really stretching through the right arm here. Oh, so it's a bit of a back bend, a little bit of a leg stretcher. Lots of good things. 2 more breaths. And just like that, we're done with the crossbow. Come on down. Yeah, it sounds a lot scarier than it is. Rock your hips from side to side. Take a little break. Hands are going to come underneath the shoulders. Just be doing a little cobra here. You're welcome to push through the hands if you want to, or you can just use your back to lift the torso. So that's kind of yogi's choice for that. Roll your shoulders back, lift the chest. Move with the breath. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up. Either using your back or your hands to push a little deeper. Exhale, lower. 3 more times. Inhaling. Exhaling, lowering. 2 more. Last one. From there, we're going to go to child's pose. So we'll push up and all the way back. You can bring the heels toward each other. You can open up the legs nice and wide. Come on down, head to the ground. Arms can be out in front or by your sides. Some nice roundness in the spine after doing some back bends here. If your arms are by the sides, let's bring them out in front, and then we're going to walk the hands over to the right side of the mat. Set the head back down. Okay, we'll come through the center, walking the hands over to the left side, setting the head down again. Coming back to center, 2 more deep breaths into your back. Separate your hands, shoulder width distance apart. Look up to your hands. Come to tabletop. And then from our tabletop, we'll tuck the toes back behind. We'll lift the hips up and push them back to downward facing dog. You can pedal the feet. You go up on tippy toe. Move in a way that just feels nice. And from there, look up to your hands. Walk your feet up the mat, coming to forward fold. Once you're in forward fold, shake your head no. Nod your head yes. Next breath in, we'll come halfway up, flat back. Exhale, back down. Inhale, sweep the hands out and up. We'll come up to standing. Touch the palms at the top, maybe a little baby back bend here. Exhale, hands to heart center. Very good. You can release the hands. Okay, if you need to get a quick drink of water, you're always welcome to get water at any time. I'm going to take another quick drink. And then from there, we'll start at the top of the mat. All right, so getting into our pigeon time. It's a really good hip flexor opener, good for those tight hips. And I'll show you another option if pigeon doesn't feel good. All right, so coming to the top of the mat here, spread out your toes. Feel the ground underneath you. Lengthen up through the body. Everything draws up and in. Shoulders relax. Good. From there, hands will reach out and up. Big breath in. Exhale, swan dive down, all the way down to forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up, flat back. Exhale, melt back down. All right, so we're going to go to down dog. So place those hands to the mat, walk one foot back and then the other until you're in downward facing dog pose. From down dog, squeeze your belly tight, anchor through the left foot, lift the right leg into the air. It can be a little, it can be a whole lot, that's up to you. Now we're going to bend the right knee, bring it toward the chest. Come forward in your body weight like you're going to plank pose, forward, 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 till you can't anymore, then set the leg down. Relax your back toes. Okay, so this is the general position of pigeon pose. I like to have the weight evenly distributed between both hip bones. It's easy to do pigeon if you're just off on one hip. And it's like, this is a great pose. Well, it's not really doing what it's supposed to. So try to keep the weight between both hip bones. Now, if this is a little hard for you, grab a shirt, a blanket, whatever, and tuck it underneath the right thigh. That's going to help hold things up. Check back behind you. Make sure that your foot's not kind of bent out to the side, that it's just pointing straight behind, that leg's rooted down. One more lift through the chest here, and then we're going to melt down to the forearms. You could hang the head if you would like. Breathe, relax. We'll take 3 more breaths. Now, like I said, if this is too much for you, you can do figure 4 instead, so that's on your back. One ankle is just above the opposite knee, and then you can pull those legs up. So this is the same pose, just without all that gravity pulling you down. Okay. So from our pigeon pose, we're going to do one more back bend here. So lift your head, hands go to the ground, push into the mat there, roll your shoulders back, lift out of your chest, look up toward the sky or the ceiling. Good. Now you can get fancy with your pigeon only if you want to. There's no pressure. Do what feels good for your body. If you want to get a little fancy here, bend your back leg. Whew. So it might want to cramp up on you. If it's going to do that, don't force it. Now if that's not quite enough, it's kind of like our crossbow. You're going to reach back, except you don't have to cross the arms. So you can take the left hand to grab the left foot here. And this is going to release the quad. Oh, now if you are really feeling fancy today, it's like squeezing your thighs toward each other. Lift the right hand off the ground. You can lift up, you can arch back. That's up to you. Again, push yourself to the point where you know you're doing something good for yourself, that you're not hurting yourself. Let's take that hand down if it was in the air. Let's release that back foot. Plant those hands firmly into the ground. This is the hard way to get out of this. Now, if you want the easy way, just come to your side, swing your legs back, and we'll meet in down dog. So the hard way, though, is we're tucking the back toe, squeezing the belly, pushing through the hands, and lift the right leg into the air again. And then set it down. Meeting in down dog here. Pedal your feet again. Do what feels good. And then from there, we'll root through the right foot. Extend the left leg into the air. It can be a little. It can be a lot. I recommend doing just about the same height as what you did for the other side to try to keep things even. Bend your knee. Bring that knee toward your chest. Come forward in your body weight like you're going to plank. Forward, forward, forward until you can't go anymore. Then coming down, relax your right toes. Here we are again. So, if you find that, pigeon's so easy because you're like just all the weight's on the left hip, let's try to bring that back up and over, squaring the hips, keeping the weight evenly distributed between both hip bones. Again, you can use props to help you out. Put something underneath your left hip. That can really help. One more lift through the chest here. One check back through the leg, rooting that right leg down. And now we'll relax down. Coming to the forearms, reclining pigeon pose. While you're here, think of 2 things that make you incredibly happy. Maybe pigeons make you happy, huh? I know this pose makes people happy, some. But yeah, think of 2 things that make you so happy. Again, if this doesn't feel right, you can amend it coming to our figure 4 pose on your back, or some other pose that feels better for you. 2 more breaths. Okay, take your gaze out in front. Place your hands to the ground. Pushing into the hands, lift the chest. Take the collarbones away from the shoulders, lifting up. This can be where you stay. Now, if you want to get fancy with it, bend your back leg. That might be enough. But if it's not enough, root through the left hand, squeeze your belly, reach back with your right hand. Grab onto the foot. Beautiful. Now, if you want to be super fancy, squeeze everything as much as you can and lift the left arm up. Make sure you're breathing. If you notice you stopped breathing, that might mean something. Then maybe you should back off a little bit. 2 more breaths. You got this. If the left hand's in the air, drift it back down to the mat. If you're grabbing that back foot, let that leg go. Easy way or hard way, we're going to meet in downward facing dog. So whatever works for you. And once you find yourself in down dog, again, pedal the feet, sway the hips. Relax a moment. Look up toward the hands. Walk or hop your feet up. Forward fold. Next breath in, come halfway up, flat back. Exhale, back down. Inhale, sweep the hands out and up. We'll come up to standing. Touch the palms at the top. Baby back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. Relax. Great work. So we are going to do our balance at this point. We're doing eagle today. Super nice and twisty. Also stretches the shoulders, works the legs. Many good things besides just practicing balance. If you feel that balance is a little bit off for you today, you can always go up against a wall and put your booty on the wall. And you don't even have to touch the wall, but sometimes just knowing it's behind you is all you need. I'm not going to mirror you for this because it's very twisty for me. I might get confused. All right, so we're going to start by rooting down to the ground. That's our base for everything here, just having a good solid base to start. Spread your toes out, lift the thighs toward each other, belly draws in, shoulders relax. Okay, so we've got the fundamental part of our structure ready. Shift the body weight over to the left leg. And you can lift the right toes off the ground, give them a little wiggle, wake them up. Now we're going to be taking the right leg over the left leg, like you're crossing your leg, you're waiting for an appointment or whatever. And then from there you could either have the right foot dangle, you could try to wrap the foot around your calf, or you could kickstand the toes to the ground. Bend through the standing leg. Squeeze your belly. Bend at your arms. I'm going to make you be balancing here. All right, we're going to take the right arm over the left, making a V. Once you have a V, close your V. See if you can touch the backs of your hands together. This might be enough. Now, if that's not enough, you can try to take those left fingertips and wrap them, touching the inner palm. This is where you choose how much of a shoulder stretch this is, because you could lift those hands up into the air a little bit. Woo, that's going to stretch. You could search for more of a stretch by taking the hands from side to side, kind of slowly. See where your shoulders get a good stretch. Squeeze the belly and breathe. Eagle pose. 2 more breaths. You've got this. I bet your legs are talking to you, so let's unwind the legs. Come on out, shake that bottom leg. Great job. Ooh, nice work. If it's warm, you're doing it. So we'll get everything ready for the other side, squeezing the belly in, getting that good foundation, having the toes spread out on the ground. Shift your body weight over to the right side. That doesn't mean dump all the weight into the hip. It's still, everything's pulled up and in, just kind of a shift. Left toes out, come off the ground, give them a little wiggle, wake them up. And again, take that leg over the right leg. So maybe on this side you can really wrap the foot around your calf. Maybe it's a better side for just a kickstand or somewhere in between. Bend your right leg. Okay, so from here, arms come up. And we'll take the left over the right, making a V. Close your V. Maybe you stay there. Maybe you try to take the right fingertips to the left palm. Again, search for your pose. Search for that stretch. Maybe deepen the bend in the legs if that's available. If this is way easy, go up on your tippy toes. So there's always options in yoga. Breathe. Focus on something that's not moving and just stare at it. That's your drishti, your gaze. Gaze upon something. 1 more breath. Okay, unwind yourself. Come on out. Shake that bottom leg. It's probably getting kind of warm. Shake everything out. Do what you need to do. Maybe you want to do some hula hips today. Some little circles. Maybe you want to do floppy arms, gong arms. Maybe you want to do a combination, do a little hippie dance, whatever works. Just let go, relax, release. From there, we're going to try to find stillness again. I know it's hard. Pull the feet toward each other. Arms reach out and up, grab onto the right wrist, take yourself over to the left side, stretching through the side body, crescent moon here. You can even look up toward the sky underneath your armpit here if you'd like a little bit more. And we'll come all the way back to center. Grab onto your left wrist, take yourself to the right side. If you want to, you can kind of peek up toward the sky from underneath your arm. 1 more breath. Come all the way back up to center. Arms come all the way down. Let's go to the mat. A little bound angle time here so the soles of the feet come together. Hands reach down for the toes. And lift up through the spine. Relax the shoulders down. Belly draws in. Start to pull yourself forward, forward, forward. Till you can't go forward any further. If you would like to melt through the spine at this point, you can melt down, taking the nose toward the toes. If you'd rather have a flat back today, stay with the flat back, whatever serves you best. Nice deep breaths. One more breath. Inhaling, lengthen up through the back. Exhale, come all the way up. We're going to place the right hand to the inside of that space there. If you don't have a space, you can make a little space. So pushing that hand down, we're going to lift the left arm up. Again, just kind of following that hand with your gaze, opening up the underarm. You can lean back a little if your body allows that. And then we'll come back. Left hand to that space in between the legs. Right hand reaches up. It's like a really big reach, like you're trying to grab something way up there. And come back down to center one more time. Hands are going to go behind us. Roll the shoulders back. Lift the chest. Now, this is one, if you want to, you can push through the feet, push through the hands, squeeze the belly, and lift the thighs off the ground. I don't really have space for this. So up to you if you do that. And set the bottom back down if it was lifted. Squeeze the belly, come all the way back up. Now you can help the legs close with the hands, shake it out the legs. Let's come on to the back. Okay, so from the back, arms come out to the T. Let's pull both knees into the chest. And then keeping that nice tuck in with the legs, bring the legs over to the right side. So it's like our windshield wipers, it's just a little bit deeper here. You can take your gaze over to the left side. You can even place that palm face down. Nice big breaths with this twist within the body. Squeeze the belly, come through center, take those knees up to the chest and then over to the left side. Your gaze goes over to the right, maybe you place that palm face down. Nice deep breaths. Squeeze the belly, bring both knees into the chest, wrap your arms around the shins, rock from side to side, give yourself a little back massage. And then from there, both legs will extend into the air, flex your feet, pushing the heels toward the sky, hands go behind the thighs or behind the shins, wherever feels good for you, and then just pull the legs a little closer. One more breath. All right, so from here you can take the legs down to the mat. However, we will take the right knee into the chest. So the left leg's gonna go long, the right knee will come in, give it a little hug, rock from side to side. We're gonna open up the leg to the right side. Keep the left hip bone glued to the mat, don't let it come over with you. And then from there, if this isn't enough, you could extend the right leg long. Your choice if you bend the leg again or if you keep it straight. If you're keeping it straight, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Bring that leg to center. Now we're going to go into a twist. I'm going to have to bend for space here. So we're going to stack the hips on top of each other, taking that leg all the way over to the left side. The right hand goes down to the ground. You could look over toward that hand if you want a little twist through the spine. You could extend that right leg long if you would like to, or keep it bent. And from there, roll onto your back, hug that leg in one more time. Switching sides, left knee comes in, right leg goes long onto the mat. And then from there, we'll take the left leg out to the left side. Right hip bone stays glued to the mat. Again, your choice if you extend the left leg long or if you keep it bent. Okay. Your choice if you bend that leg again or if you keep it straight and use the muscles to pull the legs through the center. And then we're going to go to our twist, taking the leg all the way over to the right side. Stacking the hips on top of each other. Left hand down to the ground. Your choice again if the top leg is straight or bent. And from there, we'll come back to center. Plugging that leg in one more time. We're going to go to happy baby from here. So both legs go up into the air, bend enough you can reach up and either grab your feet, grab your shins, grab your thighs, whatever works for you. And then from there you can stay stationary or you can move. It's your chance to move in any way that works for you. You can be creative. You can take 1 foot way above the head and 1 foot way low, whatever works. After happy baby, if there's one more yoga pose you would really, really love to get in today to make your body happy, you have a tiny bit of time for yogi's choice. Not a lot, but it's good to take care of your body. Do what it needs. Otherwise, this is a good time to put on layers to get comfortable for our final pose of class. We'll be in Savasana for about 5 minutes. So not a long time, but enough to relax a little bit. It's important to do at the end of any yoga class. Alright, so as you find yourself with your layers back on, or maybe a pillow down for your mat maybe, or something under your knees, whatever makes you comfortable. Let's come on down. Of course, wrapping up any last poses you were doing. So, coming all the way down to your mat. Palms can face up for a little energy if you need some. Palms can face down to get rid of something. And as you become heavy, take a big breath in. Exhale it all out and melt onto the mat. Take another moment to check in. How's your body feeling? Maybe some things have changed from the beginning of practice, maybe not. If you do have spots that are a little tight, tender, painful, just send some love to those areas. The body is listening, so you might as well love it. Might encourage healing a little faster. Check in with you. How are you feeling emotionally, mentally? Has anything changed from the beginning of practice to the end? As always, no need for judgment, just curiosity. Begin to soften. Relax the forehead, the eyebrows and the space between. The eyelids grow heavy. Relax the cheeks, the nose, and let the lips part gently over the teeth. Soften the tongue, let the jaw go slack. Let go of tension from the neck and the shoulders. Feel the bones of your arms grow heavy onto the earth as the muscles of the arms relax. Soften your wrists, your hands, and all 10 fingers. Let your skull and your spine sink onto the mat. Let go of tension from the chest. Let go of tension from the back. Create a soft, warm feeling in the belly. Let the hips grow heavy. Let the bones of the legs grow heavy. Soften the muscles of the legs. Relax your ankles, your feet, and all 10 toes. And again, let everything go. Just be with your body and be with your breath. And if the mind insists on thinking about things, go back to thinking about those things that make you happy. But no, right now, there's nothing more you need to do than just breathe and just be. Nice big deep breath in. And let it all go. Bring your awareness back to your body. Start to wake things up, wiggling the toes, wiggling the fingers. Circle the ankles and the wrists. Repeat in the opposite direction. Turn your head from side to side. Bring the head back to center. Extend the arms up overhead. Big full body stretch from the fingers to the toes. Maybe a big yawn. Maybe just a big breath. Exhale. Let it all go melt onto the mat. As you feel ready, turn to your side and hold yourself there for a moment. And while you're on your side, take a moment to thank yourself for coming to yoga, for doing yoga today, for taking care of you. And always thank your body for doing what you asked it to do during practice, and for what it will do for you for the rest of the day. Of course, this is a great time to set your intention if you would like. What's something you would like to see today? Maybe it's just relax. Maybe it's not worry about who's arguing with who on Facebook. Maybe it's just Enjoy some water or tea or a beer after class, whatever your intention. Repeat in your head 3 times. When you feel ready, we'll come up to seated. Bring the hands up to heart center. Relax the shoulders, relax the neck. Take a big breath in, send yourself lots of love. Exhale out some love to the world. The light within me honors the light within each of you. Namaste.